OpenAI has been relentless with the release of products. They have everything from ChatGPT Health, ChatGPT Go, ChatGPT Images, Sora, Stories, you name it. I think the team is on it there to really become a product company beside just the chat experience that you and I have come to be very used to and very accustomed to. So, what we're going to talk about today is this release of a new product from OpenAI called Prism. Now, Prism is a free LaTeX native workspace for scientists. If you don't know what LaTeX is, we'll talk about that. I'll go through this experience, just do a demo and a walkthrough of it from a first time user. So I'm looking at this for the first time as much as you are. I just make sure I was able to sign in, but this will be a first time experience. So to get access to Prism, we're just going to click on this. You can see what Prism is all about. Essentially, it's if you recall what the YUC weeks were, what you see is what you get. That's the kind of experience. On one side, you're writing in latex language, and on the other side, you're getting the presentation of it. So let's actually go in. I think it becomes very clear when we go through to see the demo. So let's go ahead and open up Prism Exploration. If you're doing this for the very first time, it would ask you to log in. So in my case, I logged in already. Now, here are all the projects. Again, for the first time, you might not see this experience. Let's click on this particular project that I open up. And this is a project that came in with the default project. So here you're writing down in the LaTeX format. This is, or the text format, they call it. And on your right side, if you've ever read a scientific paper, you know how unique and how properly formatted it is. This is what LaTeX is all about. So you can have your charts, you can have very intricate graphs and mathematical functions, all showing to your right side. Now, this is what you see is what you get experience, because if you're making changes here, those changes will show up on the right. Now, before we go in and start making changes, let's just explore this for a little bit. Here, a big theme of this is collaboration. So you can, in this experience, invite users directly, or you can send an invite link for folks to collaborate with you. Before this came out, the one time I went down the foray of writing a scientific type paper, the tool that was available at the time for me, out of many, I'm sure there are many options out there, was Overleaf. So Overleaf is a SaaS tool that gives you that latex experience in a very powerful way, in my opinion. And you can collaborate, you can do some good scientific writing, and you can export that PDF from that. So this tells me that OpenAI, if I was thinking of a direct competitor, would be Overleaf. Now, how formidable is Overleaf? I don't know. How entrenched is the scientific community with tools like this? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what the market size is, but just fascinating, obviously, seeing OpenAI going down this path. Now, collaboration is a big piece. You can see new chats in here. You can also import files and folders, or you can connect Zotero. So Zotero is very big for people who are doing research. You can collate your notes, do annotation and citing. Again, I haven't personally used this, but I'm just aware of this in the scientific and research community. So you can connect that. I'm not sure what that gives you, but apparently you can connect that. Now, to the right here is the tools. So there are a couple of things that are visible here with the tools. Here, these are the logs as you're making changes to my left. Those changes compile to the right. Your collaborators or yourself can add comments through your paper, and those comments will be visible here. And then this will be your project info. So what counts, the number of words in text, some journals or some professors or some academic settings would require certain word counts. This gives you that summary just at your fingertips, number of word counts, number of math inlines, and just that. Now let's go ahead and close that. I won't go through doing latex writing. I think you can watch videos about that. But the experience here is just the chat experience you're very familiar with ChatGPT. Come in, put the prompt, and to the right, that visualization will be there. And this is where, for those who in the scientific space, I'm not sure where originality comes into play here versus just AI doing what AI does. So if you see this chart was me just simply prompting for the chart. So I said expand that with the chart and then inserted the chart. I could say, um, let's just try this. I would say I'll take an image of it, of this, see if that works. Paste that image. Okay, it doesn't let me do that. Can I copy that? Okay, let's try something different. Take that cos formula, that equation, and then break it down for like a way you are explaining to an eighth grader, and keep it very short, but do the breakdown in the paper and make that available to as well. And then the table that you have, plot that table into a bar chart as well. All right. I'm just saying some stuff. It probably doesn't make any sense. I haven't read what this is all about, but this is probably the opportunity and the challenge with this for scientific paper because of the pollution that just happens. You know, I'm seeing people now essentially publishing papers that are just all completely made up because of AI, and this just puts that on steroids. With me, essentially writing a paper now. Let's see. I think it's made the changes. These are the changes it's made in LaTeX. You can view that. You can keep that. You might say, well, where are the changes that shows up here to my right? The way you're going to see that will be to recompile that, because LaTeX, you always have to recompile it to see the changes. So just watch. There you go. So these are my new changes. It's put in the bar chart. I think I asked. The table is there, and it's written some stuff for eighth graders. I think I asked for it to explain for eighth graders the Laplace transform. Laplace transform is not trivia. Let's see what it said for eighth graders. If you feed the wiggler at cost. All right, I'm not even gonna go ahead and read this because it's just it gives me an eerie feeling, because scientific papers are supposed to be hard to be written. Rigorous papers are supposed to be hard to be written. At least that's what I always knew. And for me to just prompt and have something that looks this amazing, maybe it's just a sign of the times. Maybe it's just inevitable, but there's just something about it that makes me feel a little bit uneasy. But that's latex. If you like it, you can view this to fit the entire screen. You can zoom into particular areas. You can open that in full screen, or you can go ahead and download this PDF, and it will save that PDF to your desktop like you saw me. Let's actually go ahead and do that. So that was downloaded, and if I open this up, this is a PDF. I just downloaded it as main, and now you can have a good, amazing looking PDF. This is not Word document, right? We're talking about scientific or academic type papers, research papers, for publication types of papers. Now, let's say I wanted to do include. Let's talk this. So go ahead and include a bibliography or references at the end of this paper for me. Okay, and I think this should hopefully make that change for us. It says I'm getting the content of the file. Where that content is gotten from, I'm not exactly sure. It's thinking. I'm not exactly sure. Now it says added the references, so it's added some references. And that's again validates the problem or the challenge I'm really trying to articulate here, that I could just see, you see, is this even real? Is this real? Where did this come from? I have no idea. So, like with anything, this is a weapon. You can use it for good, you can use it for bad. I see the possibility of using it for bad tremendously. And as well, I'm sure there are people who do real scientific writing this will make their lives just easy as well. So now, one thing I'm not quite sure of here is the the model being used, it's not very apparent to me. Is it using GPT-5, something else trained just for this? At least the UI doesn't make it obvious to me. If I figure it out, I'll let you guys know in the comment section below. But that's essentially what this is. Prism from OpenAI that allows you to essentially write scientific work, scientific paper in a very, very elegant fashion. If you're a scientist and you're going to try this, let me know. Share some feedback in the comment section below. It'll be very interesting to hear from people who actually write papers. Your perspective would be extremely valuable. And for those of you that have stuck to the end, thank you for watching. This is Fru with another demo. I will see you in the next one.